Hi there, it's me, Pam.vanee, and I finished this journal. I guess I'm calling it Cottage Core Retro. Um, I'm not sure. Apron, lots of things. Or tablecloth, but it is finished. This one's mine, and I will be making a couple for sale. Um, so I did show a really brief overview, but this is the flip through. And it was made from padded mailer envelopes. And this is about 9 by about 7, but then there's, it's wider here and here because of the fabrics and ruffles. So there's the vintage tablecloth. I really love that. And then I did a different type of binding by, because there's 2 signatures, by binding it here and here. And then here's like a fabric ticking. And then I made this fabric ruffle. And then I added this red gingham ribbon. And then added a couple doilies and this flower. So that's what you have. And then it got pretty full and fluffy with lots of different layerings, which is just what I wanted. And it did get a little fluffy. Okay, so we'll open it up. Oh, was this showing before this piece here? So I added some Battenberg lace here. Then you've got the tablecloth, the ruffle. And then inside you have fabric. It's pretty fabric here. So the colors are mainly red, blue, and a little yellow, I think. And then here we have a vintage doily. I folded it over just a tad here. You got this nice thick paper here. And a couple tags. That one I added lace to. And then here, it's a little pocket. I've got these little daisy appliques, a little label, torn paper, little matching sticker here. And I used some papers from Homemade with Love by Karina Gardner. And what is this called? This Cartabella. Oh yeah, Homemade with Love. Cartabella. So it's got like a texture feel to it. Then I added this tag here. I backed this on cardstock so I could use it as a, and you could write this way. This is mine, of course. So, and then some paper here. And since I don't write a lot, I'm going to be adding like vintage little advertisements and things from magazines. Paper here, digital. And it just says recipe, so if you wanted to, or whoever gets the next ones I make, they can journal there. Here's the vintage magazine. I added this yellow doily and also a little edging of crochet. It's got little milk jugs in the background. A couple tags. Like a little receipt. This one has some fabric. And this one I cut around, I think this was a digital. Added that here. And then on this side, I had this fabric here, and for a belly band. And then I added this fiber to this card, sewed this down the side, and then I had made this paper flower. So you've got a fun little card here. Did some stamping. And this was in an ad, and I backed it on some paper, and then I cut here, and then I added this little Grandma's Old Fashioned Molasses. So that can go here. There's a vintage magazine, the stove, a little digital, kind of cute cottage core look. Added that to the edge here. Did more stamping. And then I sewed zigzag down the side. Another vintage magazine. Bendix. I never knew what that was. It's a, I think it's an appliance. And here's a little, sewing. Another little stamp and sewing zigzag here. Okay. Vintage recipe. I like the red and the greens here. And this really pretty paper. That same kit. And then I added a little, like a strawberry fabric ruffle. And added the label, and then fussy cut that lady with the apron. And added this tassel to the side, and then you can also see I have a doily peeking out from the other side, and I have tucked a few things in here, a little fabric at the top, cute little snarky cards. Sorry I can't adult today. Then I have this that I added, and I have some vintage feed sack fabrics that I've added, and added that button, some red thread. Here's the doily from this side, and this is a digital, and you can flip it up like that. That is pretty and colorful. This is the middle of the first signature, and I'll just tie this in a bow. I did this beautiful fabric that I had, made it into a ruffle. Then I had fussy cut around this here, and it's a little birdhouse and bird. Look kind of country or cottage core like. Then I added a little tag here with some pretty fabric. This here. And I'm probably going to add something here yet. And it's like from a vintage apron pattern. This side I've added a little eyelet ruffle, a little label, and I've added this. I'm trying to eat more whole foods. And a little vintage feed sack. This little digital here. And this is cute, this little apron. There's the recipe page, a little stamping, stitching. And then here I added this little fabric bow to her hair. It's the rest of that vintage magazine. Stamped. It's fun to read the old magazine ads. It's a fun stamp. And then here we have this beautiful vintage crochet with, it has, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got little butterflies. And a tuck with some aprons, added this little bow. I may always arrive late, but I make up for it by leaving early. You can put that there. And I have vintage feed sack. Added this little cloth fabric ruffle. And on this paper, I fussy cut this lady with a beautiful apron. Here is some crochet with rickrack through it. Added the daisies. Inside this pocket, it's just got this little tag, and I added a Ovaltine vintage ad. So I'll be doing that more because this is my journal, and so I don't journal so much, but I will be adding my own little touches like that. I have a ruffle, and then this little piece here is the designer. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I thought that was cute. And then we have another adorable apron. And this is like a digital wallpaper. Add that to the top. And we've got a vintage magazine. It's like the 60s or 70s. And then I made that paper flower with punches, I believe. A little fabric there and a little piece of a doily. And then this is a little vintage piece, and it has crochet edge with this little red through it. So I thought it was complementary to this. Got the little pies. I'm on that new diet where you eat everything and pray for a miracle. So just a little booklet. And a tag that I added yarn to. And this fun card. And then I have a little booklet that I added a little piece of fabric and sewed, and so you've got different papers here. I added this plaid fabric or paper, gingham paper, yeah. Then I fussy cut the little cherries out. And that is the first signature. You can see this pretty edge here, and then I put it embroidered piece that I made into a pocket. Then I added some of this Chanel bedspread piece and a little doily. Then inside here, just added this yarn and a little tab. And this little card. Then we have a little ruffle fabric. Pretty bird. Little tag. And yeah, that's the first signature. Here's the second. And what I did was, here's the tablecloth, and I just added some daisies, Chanel, a couple pieces of feed sack, another crochet flower with a button, little piece of embroidery, and the wide rickrack with some more feed sack fabric. This is the ticking. Here's the tablecloth, and this is how I did my binding. I've never done it before. I've seen it before. Maybe it's been around, but what I did was I added the tabs here, and then in the middle I added the crochet doily, and I really like how it turned out. And you can see the ruffle on this side. Beautiful fabric that I have with the fruits, and this has little fruits in it with that ruffle. And here we have a pocket with a ruffle fabric and a some vintage buttons and a doily and a tab and rickrack. Little paper, digital, cute. So lots of interesting things, which I like. And you can see this again here to the edge. Then I made a little bow with the fabric and put in a little daisy, and this was part of the sticker kit with the Homemade with Love with Cartabella paper. This is really nice with the measuring measurements there. Added this Believe, some different twines. I did one of these little vegetable cards, flower cards, and then this is vintage feed sack. And this is cute, a digital. It says, oh my, she's very excited. Got a pretty apron on, and I sewed around it. I hope you're having a great day. It's been a little cooler here in Florida, but today the sun's out, so it's not too bad. Added this label and this tag with some eyelash trim from a vintage magazine. Here we have an embroidered pocket, and I added this vintage crochet to the edge. And inside I have this apron. And I thought it was cute because this guy's got an apron here. And look, I made the cutest little apron here. And here's the, whoops, here's the little apron strings. Isn't that cute? I think it's adorable. And I love it with this vintage flower that somebody embroidered. And then I just tore some paper here. I could put something here. Maybe I'll just put like a, I'm not sure what. Little sticker here. You are at the top of my list. Just getting something out of the, what's she doing? Oh, she's cleaning. Little stamp, stitching. A little Dick and Jane, and they're having cookies. So I could put like a little cookie or something here. I added a rickrack, and all these pages I have spliced together, as you can see, so that they're, you know, the correct way with writing. So maybe time consuming, but I kind of like the way that looks. Oh, and I did start to, since this is mine, I fussy cut that lady out. So I'll be doing that more with mine, you know, because this is mine. And this opens up here. Added this eyelet trim. And just did a little stitching. Added that sticker, mix it up. There's a little mixer here and a little stamp. Oh, and this I just added there with the little kittens. We have Inspire. Added the fabric at the top with the embroidered applique daisy. Added that sticker and added this twine here. If you want breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen. Then this one, I added paper, rickrack. I woke up fabulous. Little stitching here with the paper scrap and a feed sack, like the mixers here. She's got a mixer. So opens up. It's from a book, Taffy Pull Parties. Just cute old time stories, pictures. And here I have a little tag. There's a bow, and I made a bow from the yarn. And I have this on the other side. Isn't that a beautiful apron? And then I had this feed sack with the colors that went really well with it. And it brought out the blue. And this ad, vintage ad for Swan soap. Vintage cookbook. Got this little apron and some flowers, the label, the doily. Added this fabric. Spoons. Got a little receipt. And this tag. Added fabric and this really pretty, it's like a shell. It's got a blue to it, and then I have some of this fuzzy fibers. This doily here. And on this side, I have this adorable kitten, kittens in the apron. Flip it up if you wanted to write there. Also made a fabric pocket. And I thought it was pretty and colorful with all with this paper. And then I fussy cut out the flower and the leaves, and then added this Battenberg lace. This is the middle of the second signature, and like I said, I'll just make a bow and then cut the strings shorter. Isn't that cute? Then, so I had like flowers, sunflowers here, so I brought it over on this side, and I added this trim with the rickrack and the crochet. Then I added a flower here, some lace, And I fussy cut this out and put it behind this cutout right here to make it a tuck. Here I have a added a little button to that fabric. Fussy cut her out, put her on here. Remember this? So I like how that turned out. And then here we have a little booklet, sewed, made a label, fussy cut her out, cobbler apron, and just different papers. On this side I have a crochet flower and a little bit of brought some pink in with the fabric there. Added some lace to the jar. Thought this was pretty. And then this, so like a little booklet, and I added appliques and a flower and a leaf. So opens up, vintage recipes, stamping, vintage magazine, and here I added a paper doily. Here is some, as you can see, is part of a vintage hanky. Added some Battenberg lace. There's digital of some green wallpaper. I just thought that was really pretty. The blue brings that in. And then the green brings some of this tassel in. So on this side you can see the handkerchief. And here's it's like a vintage fringe. We have a little, like a measurements out of that flower and the little doily piece. I added this embroidered piece right to the top, and I added the little tab. I thought that was really pretty. And a couple tags that I added twine to. We got hope. And then this I added rickrack, some fabric ruffle, and another little flower here. I love this fringe. Then we have a belly band, added some yarn, a little tag, and this comes out. This is pretty paper too. And we have a little flower and a tab, a little sewing onto this pretty card. And we're almost done. Added those little stickers, some measuring cups. Vintage magazine. And then I added this really wide eyelet trim. Isn't that pretty lace? And here, tore that paper, added fabric, and then some, I don't know if you can see it, the twine going through there. And a piece of, like an embroidered piece for bird. And, oh, no, that ruffles on the next page. And I added this apron to Mother's Apron Strings. little apron. And this lady has a beautiful apron on. And that's from a magazine. And here we have this ruffle, fabric ruffle with a tiny little print. And then I added part of the tablecloth down to that. We have a little mason jar, added string, and a doily. Imagine. This is like a little envelope. I don't think I have anything in it. And then just a little paper here. And a tag with this ticking sewn to the side. Okay, and that's the back of the second signature. We have this pretty fabric, a little flower, and this flips out. And then here's the fabric, and then I have this really pretty Battenberg lace on the side. And we have the ticking on the back. So that is my cottage core journal that I made, and I will be making a couple more. One is for sure spoken for that I will make similar to this. If you are interested, I'll look in the description and I'll put down the cost and my email. So that is what I have, and I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous day and a great weekend. See you next time. Bye.